The scariest thing that can happen to anyone running a YouTube channel is getting demonetized. Or once you finally reach the monetization benchmarks, not getting accepted in the YouTube partner program so you can start earning money with your YouTube automation channel. Just imagine waking up and your channel being demonetized. All these weeks, months, or even years of effort, time, money, and energy that you put into your channel just gone like that. You wouldn't be the first that this happens to. And unfortunately, YouTube can be very vague in its responses why this happens and how this happens. So in this video, I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks on how to actually get accepted into the program. And if you're into it, how to prevent yourself from getting demonetized. And also once you are demonetized, how to appeal to hopefully get your channel monetization back. And at the end, I will even show you a script and a video that I have made to continuously and multiple times get my channel monetization back after it being demonetized. So basically in this video, I'm gonna show you through the guidelines that you should be following. So things to do and things to avoid to get into the program and avoid getting kicked out of this YouTube partner program. But before we do that, let me tell you why it is so important to actually read these articles and understand what YouTube allows and not. Because I myself have multiple times lost channels or the monetization of channels that I've been running for weeks or even months or even years. And there's nothing worse than waking up to an email saying that your channel got demonetized. First of all, you lose almost all the revenue it has made for the last month if you didn't get paid out that month yet. And it just is really unfortunate because the first time it happens, you can reapply immediately and maybe you get through to it again. But a few months back, one of my bigger channels also got demonetized and it had been demonetized before. And now there's a new YouTube rule that only allows you to reapply after 3 months of waiting. So this means that your channel is not monetized for 3 months if this keeps happening. And in 3 months, if you do not get paid, you lose a lot of motivation to keep on posting videos on that channel because 3 months is a long time. Plus, this channel specifically was doing over $3,000 a month for multiple months on end already. And that cash flow, when you get used to it, if you just lose it all of a sudden, it just really sucks, you know? So I'm not saying there's specific things I could have prevented from this happening. I feel like it's a bit unlucky because I didn't do anything strange with this channel when it got demonetized, but it did happen and I did lose some monetization and it is gonna take me another 2 weeks before I can reapply again. And in those 3 months, I could have made over 10K from just this channel alone in AdSense revenue. So yeah, you have to take this very serious. And I gotta say, I didn't always do that, but I'm gonna show you the steps on how to hopefully avoid something like this happening to yourself too. So here we go, the 5 tips to get your channel monetized and avoid getting demonetized once you are monetized. Number 1 is creating original content, which probably makes a lot of sense, right? But what actually is original content? YouTube expects channels and content creators to only upload value-adding content to their platform. So simply re-uploading clips using stock material without adding extra value to it, like a personal twist, or relying on stock footage alone is probably something you should avoid doing. Should always try to add significant edit, transformation, value, a voiceover or video editing to your video to make it unique or value adding in YouTube's eyes. Looks at, for example, something YouTube, for example, looks at are these: in-depth analysis, expert opinions, humorous commentary, or educational value. So the viewers should look at your videos and the information you share as something unique and not something that they can find anywhere else. So avoid making very low content that is repurposed without adding extra value, because YouTube will see this as low content, like low value material, and then you risk the chance of getting demonetized, which again, it's a little vague, but this is what YouTube provides. Number 2, the thing that you should avoid is repetitious content. So channels that produce nearly identical videos multiple times a week, these can be flagged by the YouTube algorithm as repetitive content and low quality. So here are some things that you can do in your videos to make it unique looking. And this especially applies to YouTube automation, where you try to make the same style of videos a lot, especially if you have a viral topic, so that it still is kind of unique. So experiment with different topics, visuals, storytelling methods, and of course titles and thumbnails. So the most important factor is just to keep your engagement high. Don't always show the exact same stock material clips, the same monotonous voiceover. Maybe you're using an AI voiceover that's very slow and boring. Try to make it personal, add a personal touch to your channel, like a branded feel to it, and do not always use the exact same formats for your videos. Now, tip number 3 is following YouTube's advertiser-friendly guideline. As you might have seen before on YouTube, you sometimes get to see ads before or during these videos. And there's actually advertising companies paying YouTube to show these ads on specific videos and channels. Now, YouTube has a specific set of advertiser guidelines to who you can show your ads basically. And you can select these in the YouTube Studio dashboard. But YouTube actually filters on your channel's script and video to see if it has any profanity or nudity in the videos. And if you do have this or have like a topic that's pretty sensitive, YouTube can throw you out of the YouTube Partner Program if it's too much, or just keep your RPM very low because advertisers do not want to advertise on channels that are, for example, very sexually orientated or have a lot of blood and gore in it, or is a lot about drugs or things that just people do not want to sell products to. Now, another big one, and this really applies to YouTube automation channels too, is sensitive topics. And these sensitive topics, apart from what I just mentioned, are mainly political channels. A lot of these channels sometimes bend the truth a little bit just to produce mass volume of content and use clickbait styles to get a lot of views in. Now, YouTube doesn't really like that. And it has shown, because a lot of these political channels can really go super viral really quickly, but those channels can also get removed and deleted very quickly by YouTube. So basically keep your content clean, informative, and high value, and avoid these super juicy topics that might get you views, but are kind of clickbait, and don't follow YouTube's policies. I will also link the article of YouTube that goes over this in depth if you want to read it yourself. Now, tip number 4 is make your videos engaging for your audience. So engagement and viewer satisfaction is one of the most important indicators to the YouTube algorithm of your videos being high quality and value adding. So some metrics that YouTube looks at to decide on these factors are these. The metrics are watch time, comments, likes, and shares. These are very important factors that YouTube looks at to determine whether a channel deserves monetization. So make sure to ask encouraging and engaging questions in your videos. Talk with your audience in the community tab with quizzes and polls, and make sure to add questions or controversial topics in your script so people start commenting more and liking your video more. So basically, the more engaged and active your viewers and subscribers are on your channel videos and on your community page, the better this looks in YouTube's eyes and the less chance you have of getting demonetized. Now, tip number 5 is regularly checking the YouTube monetization guidelines. And I know for a fact that you and no one really does this. Maybe they see the updates in their YouTube Studio, but I know that no one ever reads these articles. I've been in YouTube for around 4 or 5 years now, and this last month is one of the first times that I pulled up this article about monetization because a channel got demonetized, and was like, oh yeah, let's read this and see what I can learn from this and apply it. But yeah, staying updated to new rules might actually save you your channel and a lot of money that comes with it. One bonus tips, for example, is that on your homepage of your channel, you can add a video for current subscribers and new viewers. If one of those videos talks about your channel, your team, how you make unique videos, your creation process, your script writing, your video editing, if you show this in a good way on that video, this, for example, is a very good indicator to YouTube that you make original content, and this is something they actually look at when reviewing channel monetization. So this, for example, is something that was in one of those articles that not a lot of people know about. Some people don't even do something with their homepage for YouTube. Make sure to stay up to date to new policies. Use the tips I told you about in this video, and I'll also again share the link of this policy in the description below. Now that we covered 5 things that you should be looking at to do to prevent this, I'm also going to share you 3 tips that you should avoid doing for not getting demonetized. Now, number 1 is the most important one, that is reused content without any or barely any modification. The most common reason people do get demonetized or do not get accepted is reused content. Now, unfortunately, YouTube is pretty vague about what reused content is, and if you do not get accepted, what video cost you for being flagged with reused content. But still, this is the most important one, and basically it comes down to not adding enough value to your video, having low quality video, having low content videos, not adding unique voiceovers, not doing any editing, and just using cheap stock material clips over and over, or maybe even just image slideshows. Now, number 2 to avoid is mass-produced low content videos. Some people think with YouTube it's all about quantity over quality, and posting every single day, maybe even multiple times, will increase their chances of getting the algorithm to like them and favor them and show that they are being very active. But if this content is not high quality and is just cheap AI knockoffs of each other, then YouTube might see this as spam and low content quality videos that people do not enjoy watching. So yes, AI tools are cool, and yes, I also make videos about how using AI tools can help you produce videos, but make sure to still make those videos high quality and add specific editing and a voiceover to it, and not just make quickly AI generated scripts that add no value to anyone. Plus, besides that, trust me, it's easier to make one super good high quality video that will last months or even years compared to making hundreds of low quality AI videos that die off after a few days. Now, the third and last thing that you should really avoid is artificially inflating your channel with comments and subscribers and maybe even watch hours. Taking shortcuts is one of the biggest regrets I myself also am guilty of that I used in the past. I remember my first channel, I wanted to do it quick. I got a pre-monetized channel. It started making money, but then a few weeks after it got randomly demonetized. And if you try to take these shortcuts, you might have a quick small win at the start, but very often you can randomly get demonetized. You do not understand what's going on. You might get shadow banned because YouTube knows that this channel has bought cheap likes, subscribers, and views. And this just makes it so much harder for you to actually pinpoint what the problem is with your channel, whether it's your video quality or maybe that YouTube knows that you bought fake views or subscribers. And this just makes it harder for you to grow, plus you can get demonetized in the long run. So what it comes down to is do not try to cheat the system and focus on these get rich quick schemes. Learn the game, have patience, and start working on your organic content and grow over time. Build a good branded channel that people like, trust, and come back for, and build this out over time with high quality videos. Luckily, losing your monetization is not the end. You can reapply, have a real human check your channel, and maybe get your channel monetization back. Sometimes the algorithm makes a mistake and demonetizes you by accident. Very often your channel can be back to monetize within 1 or 2 days. But unfortunately, sometimes you do not get it back, and then you have to make a video appeal. Now, I have this video appeal that I use multiple times to get my channels back monetized in my school community, which you can join by clicking the link in the description below. I usually only give this video away in my paid school community, which goes for $50 a month. But for the coming 4 weeks, I will give it for free in my free 5-day challenge community, which, as the name implies, you can join for free. And once you're in and DM me monetize, I will send you that video. So I hope this video clarified a little bit about the monetization guidelines. Again, read the article yourself so you understand it even better, and just focus on making high quality content that your viewers love, that you yourself would watch too. And if you are a starting channel and you want to start making faceless YouTube videos, I just made this video for you to watch, in which I show you AI automations that you can use to quickly and easily make AI generated faceless YouTube videos that do get monetized.